Hi guys, welcome to Learn Electronics Repair. I have a HDMI matrix here, 4x4. So they use these in a lot of the bars around here. This allows you to connect 4 video sources, HDMI, and connect 4 TVs, HDMI. And then you can select one of the 4 boxes to go to output 1, which is TV 1, and TV 2 can have a different box or the same, and so on. So each TV individually, you can choose any of the 4 boxes. So on the back we have 4 inputs, 4 outputs, and these things seem to work for a couple of years, sometimes quite a bit more than that, and then at some point they seem to pack in. And I've known over the years I've been here, these things pack in fairly regularly, and I've never actually been able to repair one. I've looked at 1 or 2 but couldn't really get anywhere particularly with them, but maybe I didn't make a real attempt. So to replace one of these is maybe €150, €200, depends on what's available at the time. And obviously you have to order one or go to the CAPACITOR and get one and pay a premium. So if we can fix it, it's got to be a good thing, yeah? So let's have a look inside it. Now, he says that it has no output. So what I can do is connect my TV to one of the outputs and connect a box to the inputs, and let's see if it passes a signal through. But first we'll have a quick look inside, like I said. Okay, so what we have then, we have a large capacitor, looks a bit like a cream cracker or something. Could be cream cracker, who knows. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buck converters. Then we have 6 of these and then 4 of those. I'm guessing the 4 of those are for the output. But it's a bit strange we have 6 of these when there's 4 inputs. It's like each input uses 1.5 of those, whatever they are, yeah? These are, yeah, stuck on, but they would come off. 4 of these. 4 of these. So there's some sort of symmetry to this. And we have another linear regulator there, a couple chips. So I'm kind of guessing this says IR receive and transmit, and that seems to go to that lot. Okay. These you would think was probably something like processors, but they scraped off, I think, so we can't actually. Oh no, they're not scraped off, it just looked like they were. So we have 2 of those, same as each other, and a little bit of, can we call it, glue logic. Okay, so I'll power this up. Let's see with 1 video source and 1 TV what it actually does. We can try the various inputs and outputs, and then I think we'll measure some voltages and see what we have. Okay, so I've got a TV box here. There's no subscription or anything on it, but it will work as a video source. We should see the menu or something. So we can switch this on, and you can see they all come on green, and then they just go to 1 input. So the buttons work, so that would suggest the processor is working. Yeah, each one allows me to select 4 inputs. That's okay. Let's see if we get anything on the TV. Okay, and there's my TV up there. It just says no signal. So I have input 1 to output 1. So this is output 1. So we'll select input 1, and nothing happens. So that should come through. I'll just restart the video source. Let's see. Well, we can say nothing's coming through onto the TV. We just need to check all the leads are okay. So I'll take the HDMI. This is the output from output 1. Let's just stick that straight into the video source. Do we have something? We don't. Oh, yes we do. So we have something there. So we know the box is okay. And I'll just try the other cable. So the one I'm connecting to the input, which is this one. We'll plug this directly into the TV. And let's see if we have anything coming through. Yes. So we know both cables are okay. Looks like the processor works at least, but there's no video output. So that's basically what the customer said. I can just try a couple of other options, but I'm expecting I'm going to find the same. So output 2, input 1. Nothing. Let's go to input 2. Nothing. So yeah, it looks like basically no matter what I select, input 3, nothing. So I've tried a couple of different outputs. I've tried some different inputs. It all seems to be dead apart from the lights function. Okay, we have the multimeter on volts range. Of course, I don't know what voltages I should have, but I think it's reasonable to say that all of the voltage levels should be there, and they should be sensible or reasonable. Yeah, and I think sensible or reasonable is just something that comes with experience. Obviously, we have data sheets, so we can have a look to see what voltages these chips need. But anyway, let's see. So we'll go with this one first, and that's a 1.9 or 2 volt supply. We'll call it reasonable at the moment, okay? That's a 3.3. That's very reasonable. That's very low. 0.2. That is really low. That's not reasonable. It doesn't get hot. I'd say that's unreasonable, okay? And this one, 1.2 sounds very reasonable to me. And this one, 5. So we have a number of reasonable voltage supplies and a very low one. So we have to say that one is suspicious, yeah? That goes to this capacitor. So capacitor is same. 0 ohm resistor. Also connected to there. Other side. Same. I think it's worth checking all these 0 ohm resistors actually, just to make sure that they're all okay. I don't see, oh, maybe up here. No, there's a chip up on that one. So yeah, there. 1.9, 1.9, well, 2 really in actual fact. Oh, we'll check this one in a minute. Another one here. This one actually has a slight voltage drop. Oh, look at that. Doesn't feel hot. This one feels quite cold. This one, yeah, I don't see one on that one. Okay. So for certain, one very suspicious voltage supply here. I've disconnected the power supply. I just want to measure the resistance from all these buck converters to ground again, and then we'll come back to this one. Okay, so this one, about 600 ohms, 625. This one, very high, 11.6 mega ohms. This one, this is the one that reads strange, 1.9 meg. So there's no short on it. 91 ohms, that sounds reasonable. Probably power something in here. This one, actually reads open, okay. A little bit surprising, but that's what it reads. Is there anything else on the other side of this board? But before we check that, let's just check this linear regulator. So this is a 111733. So this is also a 3.3 volt supply, as well as having a buck converter, which is 3.3. This has a physical on-off switch. I don't think it has a standby as such. That reads 0, 3.2, 5. So 5 in, 3.3 out. So that reads okay as well. Let's have a look to see if there's anything on the other side of the board as well. I've got the PCB out. So we have a EEPROM here. Atmel. Okay. So that's another possibility. What's wrong with this? We have a fuse, so we should check that. And it's okay. Other than that, mainly it's just a few capacitors and such like. There are some more transistors around here. And in this area. So this is around the IR sockets. Okay, which they don't use, to be honest. Just some capacitors and resistors around each of those chips on the other side. Another fuse, which is okay. So this kind of makes sense because none of the inputs or outputs work. And it would be reasonable to assume that if we had one or more of these chips faulty, but not all of them, just an odd one, then maybe some inputs would work and some wouldn't, some outputs and some wouldn't. But it's universal, and I doubt these are all faulty. So the fact we have a voltage rail, which, although I don't know what it should be, doesn't seem very sensible, kind of makes sense because that's universal to the whole PCB. So let's have a look to see what these chips are. And I think probably take one or two of these heat sinks off and see what they are as well. So here we have EPF021A, if that is the part number. Well, we do seem to have a datasheet for this. Or maybe not. Microcontroller. So this is not a datasheet, this is just a specification of what it actually is. Yeah, this is just saying no data, so that doesn't have the data sheet. It just tempted us to think it did have. Okay, that was effectively a description. Does one of these links then have a data sheet? Let's have a look. Nope, so that just brings you back to here. Okay, so I'm not easily finding a data sheet for those, but because all the buttons seem to work, makes me think these are probably working. Probably. What's under these? Well, it came off. Well, that's this device. So LP91A2E HA6812 might be the actual number. Let's see what we can find. Nothing for that. EP91A2E. Well, again, that's found something. 4K audio extractor with bypass. Audio extractors. Data sheet. No, that just brings me back to here and there's no data sheet. But just looking at the layout, so these are the 4 outputs, okay? Say output 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 1, 2, we can see where the lanes are going, 3, 4. So I'm pretty sure those 4 are all the same. These ones go to here. So these will be the inputs. And then these seem to be some sort of... Oh yeah, I bet these are some sort of multiplexers that select a various input and go to a various outputs. So that's why we have 6 here. So these would be inputs. And these would be some sort of multiplexer. So 91A2E, the same as the output one. So the input-output devices, they're the same. And then the thing which I'm pretty sure is a multiplexer of some sort, this one. Okay, M21452G. Okay. And we have a data sheet. Okay. Well, sort of. No, I wouldn't call that a data sheet. Just generally explains what it does. Okay. So we're sort of back to where we were really. We know what the chips are, but there's no data sheets. We could see if we could figure out where the voltage rail, which is very low, goes to. But we can't say for certain that it's faulty. It just seems very suspicious to my mind. We could have a look to see what controls that, which would be this chip here. And maybe get a data sheet for that one, which is this thing. Can read that one a bit better. I think they're all the same actually. So we can assume this is the integrated pulse width modulator and MOSFETs, and no doubt the resistors, there'll be two of them to actually set the output voltage, and one of them appears to be very low output but not short. Okay, one possibility would be to swap two of these controllers and see what it does, because I'm sure that the output voltage will be set by these components, and we can say that is the case because we see a 10k and 100k here, another one 10k 100k, another one 10k 100k. There's three more resistors, so this one is 0, 5, 6C, and it ends with a C. So these, with these letter codes like S11C, these are 1% tolerance resistors, so we can be fairly confident they actually do set the voltage. That's why they close tolerance. So 39C, 123, 888, and this one 39C, 512, 01C. That's a 10k. I know that code. So I think it's quite reasonable to swap a couple of these chips over and then see what voltage we get on the one which is low. There is one other thing we can try, but I don't think it'll make any difference, and that would be to just get the thermal camera, but nothing was getting hot that I could see around here, but we may as well. I won't worry about these not having the heat sinks on because, well, it's not working anyway. Okay, and I've disconnected the inputs and outputs. Well, you know, something strange has happened here. So, well, this has 2 volts on now. And I can feel these are actually getting, not hot, but they're actually getting warm. 2.6. 3.3. 2. And 1.2. And 5. So one way or another this seems to have started to work. Let me see if it actually does work. So we'll go to output 1. Fortunately they mark, so this one is input 1. Okay, input 1 to output 1. Let's just restart the box. Definitely these are a bit warm now. I have some thermal glue to stick these back on with, by the way. It's just not working. I thought that might actually work now. Just connect the TV direct to the box. Yeah, we have a picture on that. So this can go, let's go to output 2. Connect the box to input 1. What do we get? So input 1 on output 2. Nothing. Well, that's strange, guys, because the voltages are there now. You would think there's one thing wrong with this, wouldn't you, really? Okay guys, I'm trying a few combinations here, so I now have input 2. Again, it set itself. Nothing. So this switch has no effect, as I can see. I'll put it back how it was. And once again, 5, 1.2, 2, 3.3, 2.6. Oh, and the little regulator was a 3.3. Yeah. We may as well try the thermal camera as well, just to see if that shows anything up. So don't see anything different around here really. I mean, obviously these chips will get warm, that's why the heat sinks are on them, and 2 are not fitted properly at the moment, or 3. So what do we have around this other stuff, this glue logic? Anything here that we can see? They're all cold, but I don't think any of this is doing anything. Cold, and the power supply area and all the processors. So, well, that's one of the processors. That's the other one, so they don't run at all warm. And the power supply area, so this is one of the buck converters. Cold. Let's just move this over a little bit so we can see. So obviously there's power around the buck converters, but there's nothing unusual. I mean, that chip is a little bit warmer than the others, but it is working. Now that reads the same. Let's just get a temperature on. So that one is 30. 38. This one 42, and the other one is up there 36. So yeah, that one is a little bit warmer, but I mean, we can assume that the current draw is going to be different on the voltage rails. That does not seem wrong really. This one here 38. So nothing conclusive with a thermal camera either. This isn't particularly surprising to me though, because as I said at the beginning, I've looked at a few of these before and never actually managed to repair one. Yeah, so I actually thought I had a good chance with this one, but no, apparently not so far. Or I'm missing some fundamental thing, yeah, some fundamental factor that I'm missing, which is not enabling me to be able to repair these things. And these ICs, which are by the 4 HDMI inputs, these are also little EEPROMs, so I'm pretty sure these are something to do with the DHCP, which is effectively the end-to-end video encryption on HDMI. You know guys, I would have thought when that voltage rail came on this would work. The problem is now that I have no data sheets for the processors, but I think the processor is working. Will you agree with me? Because the switches operate, the LEDs operate. I have no data sheet for these things, the multiplexers, the input and output, so I can't easily trace. And anyway, I don't see how you would have a problem affecting all inputs and outputs with one fault, unless the fault is somewhere common, which is this lot. I mean, yes, you could have 2 multiplexers down or something like that, but unfortunately getting parts is a problem with this one. I think I've reached the brick wall again, which is annoying because I thought that would have come on, although I don't know how I quite got the voltage. Okay, Chat about it down there. I'm not sure anything much else I can do with this one. What do you guys think? And I look forward to seeing you all soon again on Learning Electronics Repair. Ciao for now.